Lewis asking, is there a clan badge registration? And if I want to create a clan badge for my father's last name, where can I look up different symbols that might mean to put in the middle of the badge?
Is there a registration for it? Is It's not
No.
really a Lord Lion
Here's the
thing.
here's the thing. It is a Lord Lion thing, but it
It
is
is?
not open to just anybody. Unlike anybody can design a tartan, heraldry, clan badges are a very particular Scottish outgrowth of heraldry that you would see in Britain in general or in other parts of Europe. Therefore, it is highly regulated. Not everybody gets to be an armiger, that is, a person who has the right to bear arms. And that's not arms in terms of pew pew, that's arms in the terms of a coat of arms. Not everyone gets to have a coat of arms. You have to be of the aristocracy. You have to have or you have to have inherited it somehow, or you have to have been granted it by the crown. So, there may be a petition process for doing exceptions to the rule, but you cannot actually create a coat of arms for yourself and have it be recognized or registered with the Scottish government or anything like that. Unlike tartan, which because it's a creative art form, in some ways, and it's more broad as a creative art form than heraldry. It's easier for people to get into. Has been opened up, and anybody can register a tartan. And part of that is because not all tartans were associated with families. However, heraldry has always been associated with a line of title. Okay? So, that's the legality of it. If you want to create one for fun and are not concerned about it being recognized by an authority like the Scottish government or the British Crown or anything like that, go for it. Have fun with it. And you can find many artists out there who will render it for you once you have the design in place. Look up online any websites that have to do with heraldry. Because basically, rather than starting with a clan badge, you're going to want to start with a coat of arms that represents the family, or perhaps your father as an individual. And then you're going to want to decide on the elements of that. Basically, any object in the world at this point can be turned into what's called a heraldic device, that is an element in a work of heraldry. So it could be an animal, it could be an object. In the Victorian age, they were really big into using machinery, like propellers and gears and stuff, because industrialists. So it could be almost anything. Once you have a coat of arms worked out, then you take the main element of that. Yep. Well, basically, yeah. The basic way it goes is you have the shield, the helmet with a helmet crest, and then the thing on the helmet crest would become the clan badge.
Yeah.
I'm suggesting you kind of cut out the middle part and not worry about the helmet crest, but pick a thing that feels like it represents your dad or represents your family, and then build the design off of that. There's really no rules about heraldry in terms of the object you use. There are rules about how you represent it, and good heraldry websites will tell you how to do that. Or, and here's a plug for my favorite club, check out the Society for Creative Anachronism. They've been doing heraldry for people for 35, 40 years, and there's a whole plethora, a whole community within the community of people who just specialize on doing heraldry and doing original designs in heraldry. So you can kind of get their advice on how to use color, how to use representation of the animal if it's what you use, etc., etc., etc. All it's going to make it the badge then is that you take a principal element, like a rabbit, and you put it inside a heraldic belt or garter, and then you come up with a motto. The motto can be in English, it can be in Latin, it could be in Gaelic. That's entirely up to you. That's the Drambuie talking. That really fueled my motor mouth. But
What he said.
But that's basically it. You will not be recognized by a governmental authority. It is not registered anywhere. You can register it with the SCA. If you're into medieval reenacting, you can join the SCA and they'll register it for you, and then nobody in the SCA can copy it. But in the world at large, it's just going to be your thing.
Yeah.
Does that help?
Sure. I'm
Okay.
not him, but sure.
Yeah.
The more there's a weird bell curve of the, knowing little to knowing, enough or too much. And the more you start to learn, the more you realize you don't know enough, and you keep diving into it and learning more and more and more. So if you want to do it within the bounds of good taste, and you want to do it within the bounds of, heraldic law and that kind of thing, and you want it to be a good design, then I would say study up on it and, read more before you just jump in and try to do something.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of things that they would tell you. If you get advice from somebody who knows how to do this stuff, that's the kind of thing they will tell you. And they'll go into aspects of okay, are you trying to represent a certain line of the family, or you're trying to represent the marriage of the family, Are you trying to, make it more of a badge, which is kind of a more simplified design? You're trying to make it a full coat of arms, so there's a whole bunch of different parts to it. You can spend a lot of time on this. It can be a hobby in of itself. But I would keep it simple. Think about a symbol that represents the man, that will resonate with you and anybody else who cares about him, and take it from there. That's basically all I would say. And then find a good artist to render it for you. One heraldic design or cap badge can be rendered in all kinds of different art styles. It can be very simple, it can be very fancy, it can be very baroque, it can be very abstract. That stuff doesn't enter into heraldry itself, into codification of heraldry. That's all just artistic representation. So there's a lot of fun you can have with it. Everything from t-shirts to tattoos to jewelry, and any number of different things you do. Yeah.
Indeed.
I'm rambling because it's something I care about. So, but hopefully that's helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for this video. By all means, tell us in the comments what sort of symbology matters to your family. Do you have a coat of arms that you inherited by any chance? Or have you invented something that represents your little clan out in the world? Tell us in the comments what creativity you've brought to your heritage, whether it's Celtic or whether it's something very personal. We want to know. Tell us your story. And in the meantime, have a great day and be well.